What's going on, guys, and welcome to the April the 20th edition of Night Raw.
It's the final Raw before the big, well, I say the big, Extreme Rules, the post-WrestleMania pay-per-view, if that makes any sense. And this was the go-home show to Raw. To Raw before bloody Extreme Rules. Yeah, I mean, I'll review it at the end. I'll give you my whole feeling about the whole show. But before then, we will go through each and every segment. I'll give you my thoughts. We first had the Randy Orton open up the show. He came out. Well, actually, before that, the steel cage came down. Randy Orton cut a promo in the steel cage. No, I like that. I like the fact that they done that. That they had Randy Orton speak inside of the steel cage. It's not a big thing. It just, for me, it makes the segment so much more better with a steel cage down than it is without. Because the match is a steel cage match. It makes you think, oh, this is what's going to happen, blah, 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 blah. And you're starting to look forward to it. I like the whole idea of Randy Orton coming out in the steel cage. Seth Rollins interrupted. Seth Rollins is fantastic on promos. And they went back and forth, and it was entertaining. It was a good segment. It didn't last too long. And Randy Orton said he is ready to RKO everybody, including Seth. For me, it was okay. For me, the opening segment was better than a John Cena opening segment and an Authority opening segment, and it was pretty damn good. It was something a little bit different, a little bit. I know it's still Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, but the whole steel cage thing and it was a bit different. People are saying there were a few stumbles here and there from Orton, but it was decent. It set up the show. Randy Orton hit multiple RKOs throughout the night. He RKO'd. We'll talk about that when we get to that match. But also, in backstage, he RKO'd Heath Slater. So that was funny. That was one that he did. We then had Luke Harper versus Dean the Lunatic Fringe Ambrose. Now, this has not got great... People haven't particularly liked this. Bleacher Report especially. They're not liking the way they've done this. But for me, I didn't mind the way they done this. Now, I knew this was going to end in some weird way. It didn't last long. Both got counted out. They both took it outside into the arena. I didn't like the ending. I'm not going to lie. I didn't like the way that Dean Ambrose, and it was just like Luke Harper just threw him onto the thing, and then he kind of just rolled up and stood up, and Luke Harper retreated. I didn't like the ending. The whole thing was alright, in my opinion. And this match, Luke Harper, Dean Ambrose, Chicago street fight in Chicago, believe it or not, is going to be a great match, and I'm looking forward to it. People say they're not putting a lot of effort into it. I thought it was alright. I thought it was decent. Can't wait for the match. It could be match of the night, especially if Bryan and I think Ziggler and Sheamus will give them a run for their money. But if Bryan and Bad News Barrett isn't going on like it's rumoured due to Daniel Bryan's health, this one could be match of the night. We then had the New Day versus Lucha Dragons. Jesus Christ, I can't speak. The winners would face Cesaro and Tyson Kidd on the pre-show at Extreme Rules. The New Day sucks chance we're going. Lucha chance we're going as well. Lucha Underground, I keep saying that. Lucha Dragons look good again. The New Day, I'm not liking them, but I like the fact that they're kind of slowly turning heel, and obviously what they've done at the end with Xavier Woods under the rope, grabbing Sin Cara's leg to keep him back from getting inside the ring, causing the count out and getting the win, and advancing to Extreme Rules to face Cesaro and Tyson Kidd for the Tag Team Championships at Extreme Rules on the pre-show. I think that's a good move. I would have loved to have seen Lucha Dragons versus Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. It's a good move so long as New Day don't win. Although I'd like to see Lucha Dragons. I don't mind New Day versus Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. The way they booked it was clever. It was good. This slow heel turn for the New Day is something that WWE creative should take a lot of credit for. They fucked up with the New Day, but they're slowly starting to rebuild it. And they're starting to become something that is being taken seriously. They are not tag team champions for me yet. However, give it to Lucha Dragons, or I don't know. I don't know whether they'll ever be tag team champions, in my opinion. I think Lucha Dragons are certainly the next ones to take it off Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. And I love Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. But yeah, the match done what it done. After the match, it was a good match, by the way. After the match, essentially, Randy Orton came out and he RKO'd Kingston. Holy shit, that was a good RKO. And Xavier Woods. And then he went to... he didn't go to RKO Big E, but Big E kind of ran away. It was quite funny. And that was that, really. So, yeah, I mean, again, it was a... The crowd, again, were reacting fantastically with the whole New Day. They're getting a lot of heat, and that's always a good thing. That is a good thing. It's never a bad thing to be getting a reaction, unless you're getting a reaction like the Big Show does, where it's like, please retire. That ain't such a good reaction. But these reactions, they aren't too bad at all. And the Lucha, they are hot as hell at the moment in the tag team division, in WWE in general. But yeah, the match was alright, and yeah. And yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the way the tag team division is going at the moment. It does need something else. It does need a new injection of some sort of team, or a returning team or something. I don't know who or what that should be, but it needs an injection with something. But at the moment, it's going in a decent direction. Obviously, we've got the Usos returning perhaps in a couple of months. That will give it back a new leash of life. We then had Fandango versus Curtis Axel. It lasted so fucking short, you know, it really did. I don't really know what the point of this match was, really. You know, make Curtis Axel look stupid, make Fandango pick up a meaningless win. Yeah, I mean... Sorry, I just paused there, but... yeah, I mean, again, though, the thing that people are moaning about is the crowd weren't really doing the I mean, you're not going to get crowds like England, I'm afraid, all the time. You know, Chicago's always hot. You've got your crowds that are good. You've got your crowds that are not going to give you much of a reaction and probably sit down, even on the best episode of Raw ever, and we'll just sit there in pretty much silence, and we'll do a few chants. I don't know whether that was one tonight. It wasn't a bad Raw for a crowd, but it wasn't great. Compared to last week, obviously, there was absolutely no comparison. I think they could have got behind Fandango a bit more. A meaningless win, a meaningless match, a meaningless 2 minutes of my life, really. We then had the Triple H return, and he mentioned about... I'm not going to talk too much about the first bit. It was about the Tough Enough and that, and everything returning to that, and how fans can send in their video submissions for the actual Retalio show? Reality show. Jesus Christ, I cannot speak today. So yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about that. I'm looking forward to a new series of Tough Enough. But yeah, Kane then strolled out here, and essentially he said he was going to quit. He was going to give him 2 weeks' notice, and he was going to quit the Authority. It feels to me as if, I don't know, something's going to go wrong with the Authority. I don't think it will end. I just think something big is going to happen. Not just Kane quitting, and perhaps it is the end of the Authority. I felt at one point in this show, I didn't think it would happen, but there was something inside me that said Triple H is going to turn Seth Rollins round, is going to pedigree his ass down into the canvas. Authority is going to dump Seth Rollins on the side of the road, and Authority is going to turn face. That's what I thought, but it didn't happen. Oh fuck, but then it would mean Big Show would be face, so that wouldn't really make a lot of sense. Forget that. Essentially, yeah, and they both were arguing. It was a fantastic segment, a fantastic moment when them two were arguing. I really thought that was well done. And essentially, I thought he was going to make him a special guest, but I don't know whether I don't know whether I enjoyed that or not. I suppose I wouldn't know. I'm not happy. I wouldn't have been happy at all if he would have been. But he's now the gatekeeper, because they exist. Oh, I know they exist, but has anybody ever been a gatekeeper before? Not so sure, so fuck only knows. Essentially, he can control whether J&J Security get involved with the match and the Authority. That is essentially it. It's obvious that Kane is going to fucking quit the Authority, or is going to be fired, or quit the Authority, is going to break from the Authority soon. This stipulation has me fearful that Seth Rollins may lose a title at Extreme Rules. I fucking well hope he doesn't. I really hope he doesn't. It'll be a screwy finish nonetheless, because they're just not going to give him a bloody... They're just not going to give him a fucking clean win over Orton, are they? And this match will probably carry on in the next couple of pay-per-views. So yeah, essentially, it was a good way of doing it. You know, Kane obviously then not handing in his notice, getting put into the main event, so be it, as a gatekeeper. I mean, the problem with it was, though, Kane again. Big Show weren't even on the show, thank God. Is it beautiful? It was absolutely beautiful not to have Big Show on the show. It'll probably be on SmackDown about 10 times. But Kane was on this show miles too much. Why are we having Kane go through all of this? Why can't it be a younger guy? Why can't it be a guy like... bear with me a second. I'm trying to think of someone appropriate. Somebody... Luke Harper probably isn't the right character. Hell, somebody like Ryback. Because what is Ryback realistically doing at the moment? Why isn't Ryback in Kane's position in the Authority? A case that he's the director of operations, and I know that, and perhaps you don't do the director, or you make Big Shows. I don't know, but these sort of things where it's like these splits, these arguments with Seth Rollins, it should be somebody for the future, not somebody who's going to break from the Authority, will have a feud with the Authority for about a month, and then will probably end up retiring or going on to do nothing particularly. I don't want that. I want someone young who can... The break from the Authority will lead to them doing bigger and better things, if that makes any sense. So anyway, that's my thoughts on that. We then had Naomi versus Brie Bella. The match itself was pretty good. Naomi won. I believe it's Naomi versus Brie Bella. No, sorry, not Brie Bella. Nikki Bella for the Divas Championship at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. That means Paige is injured indefinitely, for fuck's sake. I was looking forward to that match as well. I think Naomi will win, and I honestly think Naomi's going to win. I think Paige will return, and I think it will be the next pay-per-view, or the pay-per-view after that, Paige versus Naomi for the Divas Championship. They may well do a Nikki Bella rematch the following... What is the next pay-per-view? Is it Payback? Yeah, and then they'll do... I think it's a Money in the Bank. They'll have Naomi Paige. So that's how I'm feeling this is going. It's decent. The match was good. I just don't know about Nikki Bella on commentary. It's really annoying with her on fucking commentary. You know, I don't know. Again, though, it seems as if, and the weird thing about this is they're kind of two heels. It was kind of two heels, Brie Bella, Naomi, and it was kind of two heels, Naomi, Nikki Bella at the pay-per-view. Are they going to try and throw someone else in? Are they going to try and throw Paige in? I do not have a fucking clue. But it was a decent match. It was a decent segment. It just pissed me off with Nikki Bella on the commentary, just ruining the... Well, they can't call the match anyway, so it doesn't really make much of a difference. But then I have the whole Bo Dallas thing. Reigns cut a promo. It was alright. Dallas came out, done his little thing, which was kind of funny. Then Roman Reigns, Superman punched him, and that was that, really. It was a short segment. It was a way of... I mean, I like the fact that Dallas was there. I liked Roman Reigns' ending with the... And you can believe that. I like that. I thought that was good. But it was just weird. It was just weird, really. It was short. It was not the way I would have really tried to build this match up. Not that it's going to be good anyway, but you know what I mean. They could at least try. They might do something on SmackDown, I suppose, but yeah, it weren't great for me. Weren't the segment of the night. Oh god, this segment I absolutely loved. Not because Zack Ryder got beaten up, and not because I don't like Zack Ryder, but because it reminded me of Sheamus when he first came to the WWE. And that is when he was unfucking believably awesome. He got the mic, he had a match with Zack Ryder. In the match, he is chatting shit on the mic, he is funny as fuck, he is beating the living daylights out of Zack Ryder, battering him. Oh, it was brilliant. Dolph Ziggler then done the save. Well, not really a save, but then cost, obviously, were causing the disqualification in the matchup by hitting Sheamus with a zigzag. They got this segment absolutely perfect. It may well have been segment of the night. It wasn't the match that was good. It's just the way that it was done. It was amazing. I loved it. I really, really did. And yeah, it's Ziggler obviously versus Sheamus. I'm a bit disappointed it's a kiss me arse match at Extreme Rules, but what can you do? It's just the ending that will be cringy at the end of the day. The match itself will be good. We now have the John Cena Open Challenge. Oh, John Cena's promo was a John Cena promo. It was alright. It wasn't too bad. I don't mind the John Cena promos because they don't last for long when he's at the moment with that, which is when he's a US champion, which is kind of good. Set up the match with Rusev at Extreme Rules. Although I think the Open Challenge will have a bit more effect after the match at Extreme Rules because John Cena will not have a opponent at a pay-per-view to face, so you kind of know he's going to, regain the title, if you know what I mean. John Cena will probably regain the title anyway, but you know what I mean. The level of unpredictability does go away when he's got a match at a pay-per-view for the championship kind of scheduled, you get what I mean? So anyway, and who come out? Fucking Kane. They might have well have called this Kane Raw. Because literally every segment felt like it had Kane in it. It's just, it fucking... That's why this Raw weren't great. It was alright, it weren't great. It was a meh. It was a meh. Shay, you know what I mean? It was alright. It weren't as bad as not that last week, but the week before. But it was probably kind of similar to last week, really. But last week was better because of the crowd. Simple as, really. Although there are a lot of stuff I did like about. Although I was popped lots more. Like, I pretty much sat down in my whole chair all through Raw, watched it, and was like, yeah, I'd done a few little fucking Fandango things and Lucha things as you do, but I didn't really react too much to anything. I didn't go mad when somebody won at all, really, until the RKO at the end by Randy Orton, because that was just fucking awesome. But other than that, I kind of was pretty whereas last week I was like fucking jumping up, going mad. So I think that kind of tells you, but that's probably because I'm just in the mood I'm in, etc. Sometimes I'm jumping up and fucking going, like Extreme Rules will be going mad. Like WrestleMania, oh my god, it's 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm screaming when Seth Rollins comes out cashing in his Money in the Bank. Dad's in bed, 3 pit over. We are screaming. We are screaming in the living room. I lost my voice the next day, couldn't speak, weren't great, but there we go. What can you do? All worth it, wasn't it? What a main event that was. Anyway, the WWE has certainly taken a from WrestleMania, the hype of WrestleMania, or the aftermath of WrestleMania, has just gone. The after Raw show was like, yeah, that's good, apart from the main event, and then it just went literally from there. And it will start to pick its way up. Money in the Bank season, it does, and then SummerSlam, and then it's all right through there. Kind of drags along. Hell in the Cell's always nice, and then it's WrestleMania season. This is the kind of period, really, for me as a wrestling fan. As a WWE fan, not a wrestling fan, but as a WWE fan, this is the kind of area where they kind of like, I'm bored. The creative team probably sitting there like, I'm bored. We put all our effort into WrestleMania matches, and now we fucking have no ideas. Well, they clearly didn't. And the thing is, I wouldn't mind that if they built up WrestleMania well. They didn't. So where have the ideas gone? Because they never had any in the first place. The only thing that saved the whole of WrestleMania season was WrestleMania, because it was fucking awesome. If WrestleMania would have been shit, we'd have been moaning, groaning. The hype to WrestleMania was shit. WrestleMania was amazing. I don't quite know how they pulled it off. Can you just imagine the hype for WrestleMania was like WrestleManias in the past have been, and that WrestleMania would have been how it was? That WrestleMania would have been unbelievable, because we'd have been invested even more in the matches that turned out to be bloody good. Just my opinion. Anyway, I don't know where I was at, but essentially Kane came out, didn't win, Kane lost, Cena wins, lol. And yeah, I mean, it was a Kane, it was an alright match, you know. It wasn't anything that special at all. Not like Cena's ones the previous weeks against like Dean Ambrose, Stardust, them sort of match. Who did he face last week? Or was it Stardust last week? Oh no, Bad News Barrett. How the fuck could I forget? Them 3 matches by far 10 times better than this one. But there, what can you do? Oh yeah, and then after the match, Rusev attacked John Cena backstage. It was a bit predictable, but it was funny. yeah, I mean, it was a good segment. It was a good little scene to build up the match at Extreme Rules. It is what it is. The match I'm looking forward to at Extreme Rules, although I kind of know who's going to win. So yeah, I mean, it was all right. I just wish Rusev would have been involved a bit more on the show, a little bit more. But, you know, I suppose he can't really do much. I'm just concerned with when this feud ends, what Rusev is going to do. That's my biggest fear. We then had The Miz versus fucking Mizdow. It ends with Summer Rae turning on Damien Mizdow. Obviously, Miz, they played it like Miz had known all along, and Summer Rae and Miz had always had this little partnership and this little deal that she'd get close to Damien Mizdow and then cost him that and cost. Now, I'm happy Miz won because it means that Mizdow doesn't get to keep the name, doesn't get to keep the entrance, doesn't get to keep this, doesn't get to keep that. Hopefully this means a match at Extreme Rules, but why on earth have they overbooked this? I'm not going to moan about it too much. Why have they overbooked this feud? It was a controversial end. You kind of feel it needs to have another match. Probably Extreme Rules. God knows what it'll be. Probably a normal match. Probably even on the pre-show. And he needs to come out as Damien Sandow, and then I will be alright. But this feud had so much potential, and it's fell flat on its face. And it hasn't fell flat on its face because of the two people involved. It fell flat on its mother. Well, three people. It fell flat on its face because of WWE creative fucking team. Fuck my life. And Raw is missing Paul Heyman. I missed my name is Paul Heyman. I missed that. I love Paul Heyman though, and Brock Lesnar. I love it. As soon as Brock Lesnar comes back in, it'll be like, yeah. That was like a doo-hop there. I was doing him I was mocking him then. How dare you? Half of you probably, well, some of you who are worth knowing will know who he is anyway. Let's move on. Mizdow vs Damien Mizdow. Say Miz wins. Probably, hopefully, going to be a match. Extremes. I don't even know whether there will be. I'll probably do it on SmackDown. But then around the Orton hit, Miz with an RKO at the end of the match, and that was kind of it really. As you can see by this whole review, it was kind of boring. Kind of a bit of a boring show, really. I was kind of doing other things while watching it, which I very rarely do with Raw. I was kind of just editing my website while I was doing Raw. Watching Raw. Obviously, I was watching it, but, you know, I never do that, though. I'm usually like, can't take my eyes off the telly, even if it's shit Raw. Ryback versus Adam Rose. What is the fucking point? Ryback wins. The boys. He then fucking shell-shocked the two Rose Buds. I forgot what their names are. Most pointless match ever. Why Adam Rose is doing what he's doing, I do not know. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's a pointless match. I just don't see the point of it. I don't see the point of Adam Rose really on the main roster. I thought he was going back to NXT, and then that didn't really work. They didn't really put him on the show other than 1 week, so I don't really understand that. But there we go. Yeah, but I mean, it was just a. It made Ryback look good, but it was so short, and there weren't really any great matches on tonight's show. Even the main event wasn't great. It done its job, but for me, it wasn't fantastic. We then, fuck's sake. Here we go, main event. Ziggler Rollins. It was the best match of the night. Again, though, it ended in controversial fashion with how the fuck did it end? Oh yeah, Sheamus came out. That was it. Sheamus came out and kind of distracted Dolph Ziggler, and Seth Rollins hit Ziggler with a random new move that I don't know what you call it. But as you know, the rumour had it that his move was the curb stomp was being banned. It has been by the looks of it, and Rollins has used another move really, and yeah, I mean, I don't know what it's called. There probably is a name for it, and I'm probably being retarded. It looks quite good. I'm disappointed the curb stomp's fucking gone. What can you do? Yeah, Rollins wins by pinfall. Good. I'm happy that he won. I wish he'd won cleanly, but there you go. Because I don't think it hurt Ziggler that much. No Adrian Neville. They should have put him on tonight. Anywhere. Even if it would have been jobbing. Even if the fucking hell, he'd have been jobbing. Jesus Christ, I'd have had a riot. Even if it was against somebody like Bad News Barrett. No, just keep him relevant. So you can mention the Daniel Bryan Bad News Barrett thing a bit more than you did with the whole health injury, health thing. And hell, have him win or have him lose. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, I'd have him win in that probably, or something like that. That would have just lifted the whole show really for me. Certainly if they'd put it just before this main event, rather than Ryback, Adam Rose, it would have just lifted the whole thing. But yeah, it was alright. The match was alright. I liked the ending of sorts. Oh, and then Kane came out again, didn't he? Fucking hell. Well, Kane's like coming out, Triple H, J&J security like, no, you can't go there. Rollins is like, pull the fucking cage down. He ain't getting to me. Randy Orton sneaks up behind him and hits him with a fucking awesome RKO. And it leaves us heading into Extreme Rules. Randy Orton standing over the shoulder of Seth Rollins with a WWE World Heavyweight Championship on his shoulder before he chucks it onto Seth Rollins, saying, I'm good. Well, he didn't say it, but basically insinuating Randy Orton may well walk out of Extreme Rules this Sunday as the champion on the WWE Network for $9.99. Or you can buy it on pay-per-view for like 10 times the price. For 6 times. But, you know. Unless you live in England and you can buy it for like double. Logical. Anyway. So yeah, that ends Raw really. That ends me review. It was alright. It was shit. It was alright. It was shit. It was alright. Too much Kane. No Adrian Neville. No particularly stellar match. One good match. One good match. One okay match, and the rest were pretty shit. But I did like the ending of Raw. Am I looking forward to Extreme Rules? Yes, because I always look forward to pay-per-views. Am I looking forward to Extreme Rules that much? No, because there's not really a lot to look forward to. Although the Dean Ambrose Luke Harper thing will be amazing. Anyway, I will be back. I will be back later on in the week with a Extreme Rules pay-per-view preview and prediction show. But yeah, the match I'm looking forward to essentially are Luke Harper, Dean Ambrose. That's going to be fucking awesome. Randy Orton, Seth Rollins. I'm looking forward to the championship match because it's a championship match. It's going to be brilliant. Although I really want Seth Rollins to win. Hopefully he will. So then I'll be happy and then that match will be alright. So I'm really looking forward to that match. Rusev Cena, I'm looking forward to it, but Cena's going to win. And that's not me spoiling it. It's fucking obvious. I'm looking forward to Daniel Bryan Sheamus apart from the ending. Actually, thinking about it, I'm really looking forward to Extreme Rules. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Extreme Rules. Extreme Rules is going to be sick. Don't miss it. End of the Raw review. Out of 10, I'm going to give it a 5. It weren't great. It weren't great at all, really. It was a pretty poor show, to be honest. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Raw is missing Adrian Neville this week. It was missing Brock Lesnar. It was missing the Big Show. I'm only joking. Too much Kane. Why can they not retire these two twats? Is this the beginning of the end of the Authority? Are we seeing the end of the Authority in WWE? Wouldn't that be a way to shake up the complex of the WWE? So long as they don't do what they did when the Authority ended a few months ago, where we just have special guests every week, actually have a general manager, then I'd be all for it. Otherwise, keep the Authority, in my opinion. But too much Kane. SmackDown, Ryback Rusev, only confirmed match. Extreme Rules this Sunday. I'll be back with my predictions, pay-per-view thing, and I will try and do an NXT and SmackDown review. I always watch them. I just never get around to doing reviews. I will try to do one this week. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.